What's up, everybody? So this is an old shoot interview with Lex Luger where he's talking about when Vince's reaction to him leaving for WCW. And I'm very interested in this because so he showed up at the first Monday Nitro at the Mall of America, where 2 nights prior I was at a house show and he wrestled for the WWF in the house show. He teamed with Shawn Michaels at the Niagara Falls Convention Center, and I know he wrestled the next night for another house show before he showed up the next night on Monday Nitro. So I'm very interested in this shoot. This shoot's pretty old, but I've never heard it. Title Match Wrestling uploaded it today, but Lex is still pretty buff in this interview, so this video must be at least 20 years old.
Bad setting was that I do it unannounced, which was really tough for me because that Suga taught me you always give 2 week notice,
Right.
But people don't know I actually worked 6 months beyond having a contract with Vince, trying to work out a new deal with Vince. And we were talking and negotiating. There's no bad words, no hostility. And it just got to the point where I knew that the contract we were discussing just wasn't going to happen. And WCW would give you the opportunity, but Eric Bischoff's stipulation was you got to be a surprise. Now, they went against everything that I could possibly want to ever do in business. But it was a chance to get back in WCW, and I thought that WCW had a chance to really go in the upswing there. I wanted to be a part of it, and I regret that. I think I hurt Vince's feelings doing that. I regret that, and I've written him a letter and apologized to him for that because I'm not a professional,
right.
And it was just something that that most people put in my spot. You know what I mean? At the time, the decision-making process I had to make for my family and I feed my family, that was a stipulation. So even though I didn't agree with it and want to do it that way, I did do it that way. So that I regret, and I apologize to him in writing. He has a letter from me apologizing about it. I did feel badly about that.
Did he respond to the letter?
No.
Okay. Did anybody else from the company respond to the letter, like Jim Ross or?
No.
I guess when you worked your last show for WWF, it was a house show, then you debuted in Minnesota, I believe, it was the first Nitro, Wall of America show.
Right.
What are your memories of that, as far as the crowd reaction, and what was your...
It was a good crowd reaction. I went back to WCW, so I come back home again, so it was good,
How was Eric Bischoff? Because you never really got to meet him until that point. What are your thoughts on him?
Eric's Eric, Eric can be cocky and arrogant and mean people, but overall, Eric always treated me fairly with contracts, and when he told me he'd renegotiate early because I was doing the job, he always did, and I have to respect him for that. You know what I mean? Eric's Eric, but business-wise, he was always business with me.
Right.
I have no complaints over there at all.
Were you much happier to be back in WCW again, or was it just business?
It's never just business. You know what I mean? I was such good friends with Sting and
right.
with guys. So I had friends back there that I had for a long time, and guys I'd broken into business with kind of.
Right.
With the Crockett's. So it was it's not just business. It was fun to get back there.
Okay, so he doesn't really get into how Vince reacted, so it's kind of a misleading title, but I remember I was shocked. I was 14 going on 15 at the time, and Lex had just had a big run in WWE. He wasn't in the main event picture anymore, but he was still a major player. There was a tag team with Bulldog, and Bulldog turned heel, so everyone wanted to know, was Luger going to turn heel and join Bulldog? But he didn't. He stayed a face and attacked Bulldog at the SummerSlam that year, and then nothing ever happened. We never saw him on TV after that. But it was quite a shock when that happened. I think that was probably Yeah, Eric Bischoff showing up on Raw was a huge shock. But as far as like a wrestler showing up in one place, I don't think there's been a bigger shock since when Lex Luger showed up at the first Monday Nitro. There's no... And it's... You can't really... CM Punk showing up at Survivor Series, as shocking as that was, it wasn't as unexpected as Lex Luger showing up on Nitro. CM Punk had just gotten fired from AEW. There was rumblings going on that maybe he'll show up at Survivor Series. It was kind of just a matter of time before we saw CM Punk. Lex Luger going to Nitro, showing up at that first Nitro today, or that day, was, in today's term, it would be like if Roman Reigns showed up in AEW. Like, if he had just 2 days prior, like, he wrestles on Friday on SmackDown, and then Wednesday he shows up in AEW. That's like, that would be the surprise. And it would almost be impossible to pull off a surprise like that with the internet and people posting stuff online and seeing people where they don't belong, like in the parking lot of an arena or whatever. So a shocker like that really can't happen again. Let me know what you guys think. Were you shocked when Lex Luger showed up in WCW? Let me know. I was shocked. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.